Welcome back to the Weekly Education Pulse. I'm Sammy.
I'm Tony. Each week we bring to you the latest developments from across the international school sector, covering school openings, curriculum trends, well-being, partnerships, and the shifts that are shaping the future of international education.
Yeah, we have 6 stories for you this week. They include major campus relocation in Tokyo, bilingual pathway developments in Bangkok, a new Singapore model school opening in the Philippines, regional recognition in the Greater Bay Area, and a significant realignment in Dubai.
We close the episode with a story that's quite a personal one for Sammy, so stay tuned to find out more.
A full episode with a mix of growth, competition, reflection, and change. Let's begin with the first story, which takes us to Tokyo, where Tokyo International School is relocating to a brand new purpose-built campus in the newly developed Takanawa Gateway City, with the move scheduled for August 2026.
That's right. The new campus will place TIS right within Tokyo's latest urban hub and close to major transport links. The design of the school is described as state-of-the-art, with modern classrooms, science labs, arts and music studios, black box, drama theatre, sports facilities, and more, all optimised for holistic and forward-looking learning.
Yeah, this move also comes at a time when TIS is expanding its academic offer. They plan to complete the full K-12 continuum soon, including those upper years. And for many families in Tokyo, this promises a central city, high-quality international school option with top-tier facilities.
Stands out is how this relocation speaks to broader trends. Urban redevelopment, demand for high-quality international education inside major cities, and a push by schools to combine academic excellence, infrastructure, and accessibility.
And for other school operators, investors, this is a signal. In major global cities, premium international schools will increasingly need to offer more than just curriculum. You've got to have facilities, location, convenience, and vision will matter just as much as the academic reputation.
Our second story this week comes from Bangkok, where Shrewsbury International School City Campus is celebrating an important milestone for the Hanqing pathway, its bilingual program that blends British education with Chinese language and cultural competency.
The pathway has seen its strongest progress since launch. It is designed to build high-level Mandarin fluency while maintaining Shrewsbury's academic standards, making it a compelling option for families seeking both international and Chinese pathways in the future.
The milestone was marked with the opening of a dedicated Hanqing spaces on the campus, including specialised classrooms and cultural learning areas. It is a sign that the school's long-term commitment to meeting the needs of Thai Chinese families, as well as international parents who value bilingual proficiency.
Yeah, and it fits a wider pattern we are seeing across Asia. International schools diversifying their offer through bilingual streams, cultural programs, and dual pathway options. Parents want more flexibility, more language capability, and more global mobility built into the school model.
Shrewsbury, this strengthens their positioning in a competitive Bangkok market. For the region, it reinforces the growing demand for programs that combine academic rigour with linguistic and cultural depth.
And our third story takes us to the Philippines, where Bacolod City is set to welcome its first Singapore model international school. The project was announced this month, and it marks a significant step in bringing premium Southeast Asian education models to the Visayas region.
The school will be located in Barangay Estefania and it represents a major investment in Bacolod's growing education sector. What makes this particularly interesting is that the Singapore-style international schools typically are clustered in Metro Manila or Cebu. Seeing one rise in Bacolod signals confidence in emerging regional cities as a viable market for international education.
Yeah, the article that we're referencing from highlights that the school will adopt the Singaporean curriculum, which is known for strong STEM foundations, structured pedagogy, and high-performing mathematics program. For families in the region, this introduces a new premium option that previously required relocating to another city.
It also reflects a broader trend we've been tracking across Southeast Asia: decentralisation. As infrastructure improves and the middle class spreads beyond major capitals, international school operators are beginning to look more seriously at second and third tier cities as growth opportunities.
And for parents, it means greater access and less disruption. For school groups and investors, Bacolod could be a test case for whether regional markets in the Philippines are ready to support sustained international school demand.
And for our fourth thought story this week, we're off to the Greater Bay Area in China, where the GBA School Awards for 2026 have announced their finalists. According to the organisers, 47 schools and education organisations across Guangdong, Hong Kong, and Macau have been shortlisted.
Yeah, the number alone tells us something. The Greater Bay Area is fast becoming one of the most dynamic education regions in Asia, fueled by rapid investment, cross-border collaboration, and demand from both local and expatriate families.
Finalists include a mix of international schools, bilingual schools, tech-focused institutions, and education organisations supporting STEM, the arts, and talent development. It shows how diverse the schooling landscape has become in GBA and how competitive it is getting.
And what stands out with the nominations is the emphasis on innovation. Many of the shortlisted schools have been recognised for areas like digital learning, environmental impact, well-being provision, and cross-cultural education. It's a sign that the GBA is positioning itself not as a hub for economic growth, but as a region aiming for global education leadership.
For parents, this means a lot more choice and better quality. For school groups and investors, the GBA remains one of the most active and attractive education markets in Asia, with competition driving standards higher each year.
Now, moving from the Greater Bay Area to Dubai, where a major development has caught the attention of parents across the city. Kent College Dubai and Rugby School Japan formally ended their partnership, and Rugby School Dubai is now preparing to launch under its own brand.
The split has raised a lot of questions for families, especially those with children enrolled in the prep and senior phases of Kent College. According to the school's compared coverage, parents are seeking clarity on everything from leadership continuity to curriculum pathways and whether children's progression will be affected.
Yeah, Kent College has stated that academics, staffing, and learning continuity will remain stable, and that the school will continue operating as a standalone British school. Rugby School Dubai, meanwhile, will open as a new entity within the same vicinity, aiming to bring its own interpretation of British independent schooling to the Emirates.
From a market perspective, situations like this highlight how competitive the Dubai education landscape has become. New entrants, rebranding, partnerships forming and dissolving, and all reflects a sector where schools are working hard to differentiate, refine their positioning, and respond to shifting demand.
Yeah, the big focus now is reassurance. Parents want certainty, stability, and clear long-term direction for their children. For both Kent College and Rugby School Dubai, the way they communicate over the next few months will be crucial in maintaining that confidence. And likened to that previous story, our final one this week is actually a personal one for me, as Tony mentioned earlier. Verso International School in Bangkok, where I worked during its founding years, has announced that it will transition into Wickham Abbey International School Bangkok at the end of this academic year. The decision came after a strategic review by the board aimed at securing long-term sustainability and bringing a more traditional academic framework to the school.
This transition follows BE Education's acquisition of a majority stake in Wickham Abbey's Hong Kong and Bangkok operations. The BTS Group, who were instrumental in establishing Verso, will remain involved, but with a smaller shareholding after the restructuring.
For those who may not know, Verso was built around an ambitious purpose to turn the page in education. That was the whole idea behind the name itself. It was meant to challenge conventions, rethink the learning experience, and push for a model that was bold, contemporary, and deeply student-centered. And although those aspirations have stalled, I would never say the vision is over.
Abbey brings something very different. A century-long track record of academic excellence, a strong British curriculum, and a clearly defined pathway through IGCSE and A-levels. Families will also see new developments like the 3-year fee freeze and the introduction of boarding in 2026.
But for me, beyond the operational changes, this is also a moment to acknowledge the legacy that Verso left. Everyone who was part of that community, be it the educators, families, students, and founders, they came together around a shared belief that school could be different, that learning could be reimagined, And even if things did not unfold the way we all hoped, the experience touched all of us. It gave us the belief that innovation in education is not only possible, but it's necessary.
Kind of cultural impact matters. It shapes how teachers teach, how leaders lead, and how new ideas take root in a wider sector.
So, as Verso enters its final chapter this year, the book is not finished. The ideas, the spirit, and the courage to challenge tradition will continue in the people who lived that project. It was meant to be a flagship that encouraged educators to keep pushing, to keep questioning, and to keep imagining what the next generation of schools could be. And that part remains alive.
A powerful reflection and an important reminder that school projects, even when they change form, can leave a lasting impact on the people and the sector. And that brings us to the end of the episode. Another week that reminds us how global, dynamics, and fast-moving the international education landscape continues to be, from Tokyo and Bangkok to Bacolod, the Greater Bay Area, and Dubai.
Yeah, this week also included a moment of personal reflection for me as Verso begins its transition into Wickham Abbey International School Bangkok. And for everyone who has been part of that community, it's a reminder of the purpose that brought us together in the first place, the belief that education can be reimagined, improved, and continually strengthened.
As always, thank you for listening and sharing your insights, and for keeping us informed about developments in your region. Your messages help shape the stories that we bring each week.
And we'll see you then. Thank you.